Hey you guys, I'm going to share a video, and this girl is saying it perfectly. And what I want to add to that is trust in the Lord at all times. At all times, especially when you want to counter another brethren, another believer. Trust in the Lord at all times, and lean not unto your own understanding. Because if you're quick to point a finger at a brethren, instead of saying that's a brethren, why is God saying that to that brethren and not to me? Well, I'm going to lean on my own understanding and they're a heretic, is what you're doing. And if you instead did what the Bible tells you to do and lean not unto your own understanding, because the Bible also tells you not to point fingers at brethren. And so, yeah. That also tells me and us that Jesus is not your Lord, because you're just going to lean on your own Bible knowledge. And, that is God, that is Jesus, that is the Holy Spirit. But if you choose to accept God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit as just a book smart, mental, mind believing thing, and you leave the heart part out, and you leave the supernatural out, and you take God at his word and leave out the Holy Spirit speaking through it, Jesus isn't your Lord. No. He's not. You're your Lord, and you're worshiping knowledge. Now, the Proverbs say, without wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. It's not only knowledge. It has to be all three. You can have wisdom and knowledge, but not understanding. It even says, husbands, dwell with your wives with understanding, because knowledge and wisdom aren't really going to cut it. Only you have to also have understanding. Some things you can have only wisdom. Some things you can have only knowledge. Some things you can have only understanding, but not really. Maybe there's more of one than the other at times. But they're all three work in tandem, just like the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So, I just wasted a bunch of breath on my ex. He always, teases, okay, I hate to cut the sermon short, but I got to get to bed, or I got to eat, or I got to go, which is fine. I'm grateful he'll even listen to what I do say. But I was just explaining to him how the 2017 eclipse, I didn't know about that then, because I was also only watching TBN, because they had the end time things on Fridays, and I didn't even know the significance but I was definitely looking because Jonathan Cahn had his book out, John Hagee had his book out on the blood moons, and I knew that 2015 was probably going to be it. And then that passed, but we were in a Jubilee in 16 and 17, according to Jonathan Cahn. But then he said it conveniently again, we're in the year of Jubilee in 17 and 18 because of the Jerusalem becoming the capital. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm just saying I was looking, but I kind of lost a little bit of hope after the deadline of the 1 year Jubilee of 16 and 17 ended in 17. And I hadn't, because we were traveling some and I hadn't caught up with, anyway, no, that's not the reason but anyway, in 2018, when Jerusalem was made the capital, I heard Jonathan Kahn say that again, that it's the year of Jubilee. And then it's like every year's the year of Jubilee, and that ain't right. That ain't right. Even another brother tonight said it's the year of Jubilee. Now, I know in the Bible it is written in Psalm 81, I think mentions it, that it's the year of Jubilee, but the year of Jubilee is every 50 years. So I don't know why Psalm 81 says that. Because if you read Psalm 81 every single year, then that means every single year is a Jubilee. But anyway, I think it's Psalm 81 also mentions the moons and the Jubilee. Okay, but it's also somewhere else in the Bible. It explains what a Jubilee is. So, and a Shemitah. So if you heard anything, the Harbinger, the original Harbinger, you'd know all about this stuff. It was very cool. So I was watching. Well, I was explaining to my ex, hey, it was a serious thing in 2017. There's a brethren on YouTube who knew it was it. I'm sure a lot of people else did as well. And then I said in 23, it X'd. The other one came, and I was telling about the cities, Salem. I explained Jerusalem used to be Salem, but then God or something happened and it changed to Jerusalem. How it crossed over cities, Philadelphia, Jerusalem, Exodus, stuff like that. Nineveh. I can't remember them all now. And then I said that was pretty much worldwide in 2023. It wasn't as big as now, Joshua, and how it just crashed the whole system. And then on top of that, all the confirmations, which did not happen in 2023. But I was explaining to him how there's several different kind of watchmen. You got the sun, moon, and the stars, sky watchmen. You got the earthquake and volcano and earth stuff watchmen, natural disasters. You got the biblical prophecy teaching watchmen. You got I don't know. There's several different categories of watchmen. There's specialties. And everything was lining up in 2023. And it was getting kind of worldwide. It was pretty worldwide. We were all watching for that date, which was September 23rd and 24th. And I said, but this year it's different. And then Joshua came along, but other people had already come along. And God even told Joshua that other people would come along. And Joshua got the word in 2018. And then all this. So I was explaining all that. But I just want to reiterate that now I found out that it's on the Enoch calendar 23-24. So Joshua's still right. 23-24 on the Enoch calendar is 17 and 18. And in fact, I think I looked that up the other day, maybe yesterday, that it is, no, it's not a full moon, but the 21st is a full moon or a new moon, whatever you want to call it. So, and then another brother did a video, Barley Harvest, about this moon thing, like a new moon, full moon, kind of, sort of. So I know that if I were to look back on past Feast of Trumpets, Moed, appointment in the past, they generally fall on new moons, full moons, but honestly, all those years of us looking for the sliver was always wrong anyway. So technically, if you wanted to go back and look through every calendar you've ever had, or Google it on the phone, all the Feast of Trumpets in the past that were on a sliver, that were announced on a sliver instead of a full moon, which is days later, 2 weeks later, usually, then, things would be kind of different. But the only thing I would wonder about the Enoch calendar, well, anyway, Joshua he might have said Feast of Trumpets, but he was given days, not moons. So if Enoch calendar 2324 is not on a new moon or a full moon, it doesn't matter, because I don't think God told Joshua it's going to be on the Feast of Trumpets. Now, Joshua might have started saying that because after he looked up those 2 days on the Gregorian calendar, which he thought that's what it would be, like all of us did, he happened to notice it was on a sliver of a moon, which is wrong anyway. He happened to notice that it was on the Feast of Trumpets. So he went ahead and threw that in. But I don't think God told him, Jesus. I don't think Jesus told him it's on the Feast of Trumpets. But the Feast of Trumpets does mean Galilean wedding. The Feast of Trumpets does mean only my Father knows. So basically, Jesus was saying, I'm coming on the Feast of Trumpets. Now, I know the Israelites and all of us Jewish festival believing Christians followed that sliver tradition with them that taught us it. But it's wrong. So I just have one comment as I speak about all this moon stuff, is that if that date does get wrong, I would say that I would move personally. And hey, whether this is the Holy Spirit speaking through me and I don't know it or feel it, because we can prophesy and not even know it, or if it is just me and my thinking in my own technical brain, whatever technical ability I do, little I have. But I would say that this is showing up as the 21st is a full moon. Now that is on the Gregorian calendar. And if, say it matches the Enoch calendar, but there's no full moon. And if the Feast of Trumpets has to fall on a full moon, but then if Jesus didn't give Joshua that date, Feast of Trumpets, then which means Jesus is coming on the Feast of Trumpets, only the Father knows, Feast of Trumpets, then that just means that Jesus has decided to switch it up. And the disciples asked, when is the end anyway? They didn't ask, when is the rapture? They said, when is the end? And I might share another girl's video that's got another spin on it with this that I mentioned in another video of my own, that I said, well, which is it, God? Is it 7 years? Or is it, if those days weren't shortened, no flesh would survive? So I'm saying to myself, I'm like asking God, which is it? Is it 7 years? Or is it the days will be shortened? And this girl, the first ever I've heard of anybody talk like this, she basically is explaining why it's not 7 years of trib. And no, we're not in it now. But for those days to be shortened by this much, wow. But she is kind of saying any day now, because such and such a time is up. So I'll share, it's called Crazy About Jesus channel, and I've shared her other video on like I shared it on like September 25th or something. So anyway, I'm just saying, in my own personal opinion, unless it would be God, unless God did not tell Joshua Feast of Trumpets, and that just kind of came out of his own mouth because he made a deduction that those 2 dates happen to be on Feast of Trumpets. But yet Jesus said, I'm coming on the Feast of Trumpets. Well, the Feast of Trumpets is on a full moon, so the full moon is until the 21st. Now, those weren't the dates God gave Joshua. So, and the 17th and 18th, the 16th, 17th, he said, are not on there's no moon. Oh, but are those a sliver? Let's see, the half of a moon is, but maybe the 16 and 17 is kind of like a sliver moon here. Where's that picture I saw? Oh, okay, on the 13th, it's a half a moon. So, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it would be almost gone. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just being my own common thoughts here. So, if God didn't say Feast of Trumpets and he says, I'm coming for my church on the 23rd and 24th of September, I'm coming to get my church. And then he said something like, it'll be like an Exodus and there will be no World Cup in 2026. So, worst case scenario, it could be Passover, which is the Exodus. But Jesus already fulfilled that feast. And my point is that if Jesus doesn't rapture us on a full moon, Feast of Trumpets on the Enoch calendar, if he raptured us and it's not a full moon Feast of Trumpets Enoch calendar, that just simply means, hey, who cares? He's not going to do it according to the Jewish way. He's doing it according to the Gentile way, obviously, anyway. But that Feast of Trumpets, the trumpet was blown on the secular Gentile Jewish calendar. It's true. So, because I was telling my ex, I'm like, this time it is worldwide. Joshua came out, and then everybody from A to Z were getting confirmations, dreams, visions, prophecies, worldwide. It was bigger than Taylor Swift, okay? It was worldwide. Big time worldwide. Bigger than ever. Then, August, when the word came out, like, I think I've read something like 25% of the population came to Christ because of that. Then you had Charlie Kirk's death, like 25% of the population came to Christ. It's almost like God is harvesting in, and then he puts a pause, puts a delay on it, because even the new believers that are coming in, he's got to test their hearts. He's got to test everybody's heart. Is Jesus their Lord? Are they going to listen to him? Or are they going to listen to others? Oh, you can't trust that. Are they going to listen to the Bible without the Holy Spirit? Are they going to, should I dare say, are they even chosen? Meaning, what is that term? Predestination. I mean, maybe you people aren't even predestinated to believe this. I'm not saying that and I'm judging you or anything, but I mean, if you're going to judge me, yeah, I'll judge you. I've told God before in my personal private time with him, being all open and honest. I'm like, Lord, anyone who hates me, I hate him right back. And you know, hate sometimes only means love less. Because Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. And he says, unless you hate your mother, father, sister, brother, your siblings, and all this, unless you hate them, but no, he wants us to love family. He wants us to love everybody, right? So is he being contradictory? No. He just means love them less. They are not your Lord. Your children are not your Lord. Your husband is not your Lord. Your friends and what they think and say are not your Lord. He says love less. So I'm like, Jesus, if they hate me, there's no reason for them to hate me. I've done no nothing, no harm for them. No harm to anybody. I wouldn't hurt a fly. And yet if people want to hate me, fine, I hate them right back. You think I care? So anyway, and that's just me emptying out my sins, confessing. So I have a clean slate. I'm like, Lord, you know my heart. I'm not going to hold this in. I just want to confess. I do hate them. I don't like them, and it ain't, what is that other one? Live peaceably with all men as much as lieth in you. I'm like, well, Lord, there ain't much lying in me right now to be peaceable with them. Oh, and the other one, like, hate nobody without a cause, something like that. I'm like, well, they've been giving me plenty of cause. So All right, well, this wasn't about my personal business, but I'm just telling you as an example, that's what I do. So, because he knows what you're thinking and feeling anyway. And if it's ugly, you better let it out to the one who knows it all. Because that's what a relationship is. That's what a relationship is. Just like your earthly husband or your best friend or your earthly whatever, you'll tell stuff too. Some things you'll only take to your grave, some say. You better tell that too. It's like a constant dialogue, y'all. That's what the oil is. A constant dialogue. It's also the word. It's also hearing and hearing. You can't just go around with your head knowledge of the Bible and God, putting him in a box. Oh, I've been taught no one knows a day and hour. Oh, that's my ingrained biblical teaching. It's just written in my heart in stone. And I will not listen to even the Holy Spirit. I'm not even going to bother asking him because, hey, why? Why? It's written in the book. But wow, Lord, the whole world is sure going loco believing this nonsense. Well, why don't you ask the Holy Spirit like they did when they thought it was nonsense too? And Jesus told them they didn't put Jesus in a box or go by the book dry, with no Holy Spirit, water. Okay? So, all right, that's about it. I'm going to share 2 videos. I'll share Sister Nikki and the other channel for her other kind of spin on it. And yeah, okay, bye.